Good afternoon. I'm Kaaren Hamilton, Vice President of Global Sales for the Carlson Rezidor Hotel Group.
And I'm Holly Zoba, Senior Vice President of Sales for Signature Training.
Holly, in the last couple of years, what do you think hotel salespeople are doing well?
What we have seen is there have been some advancements in the world of social networking, specifically probably with salespeople's use of LinkedIn, of all of the social networks, in terms of doing a better job of researching potential customers and reaching out to them via technology, via digital.
Great. That is interesting. I've been seeing that as well.
What would you say?
I think that hotel salespeople are doing a better job of understanding what the relationship means and how they can affect the relationship a little bit better than they had perhaps the downturn of 2008 and 9, right? Those are kind of the lessons for me in the last few years. That they understand that the relationship doesn't begin at the RFP. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in the lead up to that. And so we're seeing a lot more participation in industry events and at trade shows. And I think they're doing a good job at educating their general managers that attending an industry event is about building the relationship. It doesn't mean I'm going to come back with an RFP in hand. So.
I also think the digital component is important with that as well. They're able to research and know a little bit more about their customers before they establish the relationship. It sort of gives them a little bit more knowledge of who they're working with and what might be important to them, which previously was hard to come by, information that was hard to come by.
Such an important point, because they have limited resources, limited time, so the more research they do in advance of picking up the phone, right? And
right.
I think it's that first impression too, and our customers are very tuned into how much work did the salesperson do before they made that first outreach. What would you say are some of the mistakes that hotels still make?
Signature does a lot of mystery shopping calls in sales offices, and now mystery shopping emails. And unfortunately, we're seeing something that we've always seen, which is a lack of response. So when people are approaching a hotel via email, via phone, probably 25 to 30% via the phone, they're not getting a return call. I mean, after multiple attempts.
Yeah.
And so either there's no one at the property to do it, I don't know what the problem is, but lack of response is a bit of an issue. With email, in some instances, it's greater. I would think it would be easier to get a response via email, but sometimes the lack of response is greater. And also the response that they're getting, very cookie cutter, very brief, no engagement, no selling. So
interesting. I've noted the same thing, and I sort of put that whole issue into a communication problem, right? So sometimes it's not even just the lack of first response, but then it's all of what comes after that.
Right.
So if we look at the group segment, it's a complex buy. There's a contracting process, and it always dumbfounds me when a hotel salesperson at a critical point in closing the deal doesn't respond, doesn't communicate well. So I think we're still challenged there.
yeah. Do you have other challenges?
Well, I think we're still grappling with sort of the talent level, right, and the level of professionalism for hotel sales, and attracting people into the profession is still challenging. Yeah,
I would agree.